What's going on, everyone? Sir and Disney here, and we're going to talk a little Monday Night Raw. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Call me the Amazing Kreskin. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. And the only thing that's coming to your mind is, Owen, where was NXT this week? And I don't have an answer for you. Like, Owen, where was Impact this week? And I'm like, I don't have an answer for you. I just didn't get around to it. Sorry about that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Impact this week and then do Bound for Glory. And then after Bound for Glory, I'm going to go headlong in Impact again. I think that's the smartest thing to do. NXT, I just kind of ran out of time, to be totally honest. And working on a Saturday kind of threw me off, so it kind of really bogged me down. And I pulled a Kevin Smith this weekend. I just kind of wanted to sit back and be entertained instead of entertained. So, no offense to anyone out there, I didn't feel like doing anything this weekend. So I threw up 3 awesome videos. AJ and I did 3 amazing videos, so you can check those out here on Pop. On Friday, we did AJ's movie reviews, and those were really good, really enjoyable reviews. And then on Saturday, we did 18 movies AJ watched while I was gone. That review went up. And on Sunday, we had another awesome versus, which was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre against House of a Thousand Corpses, which has gone over pretty well with everyone. Oh, by the way, if you're playing at home, cryptic comment for this week is Daylight. So Daylight is going to be the next versus for this coming Sunday. So, real quick, like I said, a little housekeeping. I'm going to throw out a comment real quick right now. So, it's AJ's birthday, actually, on Wednesday. So, because of that, his family are doing a little get-together on Friday. So, because of that fact, the movie review for this week for Carrie and Escape Plan, as well as the Athens movies we're watching actually tomorrow, or in this case today, In a World and Thanks for Sharing, as well as a movie that I didn't even think we were going to get, which is The Fifth Estate, as well as Escape from Tomorrow. That video is actually going to go up on Saturday, and the verses I talked about with the cryptic comment being Daylight, it's going to go up on Sunday. So it'll be a day late, but trust me, we'll make up for it in the end. And like I said, found out some interesting information. So, like I said, we're getting The Fifth Estate, which blows my mind, because I didn't think we'd even get it. Obviously, if you guys don't know any better, it's the WikiLeaks movie, and the one with Benedict Cumberbatch and Daniel Bruhl and Laura Linney. And that movie is actually coming to Regal, which blows my mind, to be totally honest. And I wouldn't even believe we were getting it if I didn't get the box yesterday. So yeah, I got the box, so needless to say, I know that we're getting the movie, so that's pretty awesome. That's what we got. And then I got another bombshell. It was dropped by Athena Grand. Notice we've been to the Grand a lot lately, and it hasn't really had anything to do with Fathom events like it did the previous year. So we're actually going to be able to watch Enough Said, which is coming to Athena Grand. So the next couple weeks we're watching Enough Said, and hopefully we'll add some things to that. Still waiting to see if 12 Years a Slave comes close, or if we have to go to Columbus for it, which wouldn't surprise me. So we've got Escape Plan and Carrie on Thursday and Friday respectively, as well as The Fifth Estate on Friday. And like I said, Saturday will be your movie reviews. All 6 movies will be reviewed, and on top of that, we've got the verses. So that's what I have to let you know. Video might be a day late, so I'm just giving you a warning, giving you a little heads up right away. Okay, so that's the first bit of information. So I'm gonna Crystal Light Drinking Game's return, folks. Okay, before I get into Raw, a lot of things are broke this week. Found out 2 things. Number 1, the world of Pandora, through James Cameron's Avatar, opening at Animal Kingdom in 2017. That was broke this week. And there's a huge rumor right now that Disney is in final talks to purchase the rights to The Lord of the Rings to be used in the theme parks, which is interesting because that means they had to work with Warner Brothers and New Line. And maybe, just maybe, the rumor we had earlier this year that Universal was going to get the rights to Lord of the Rings. You know, everybody was talking about turning the lighthouse with the big light at IOA to the big ring in Middle-earth and everything, bringing Middle-earth Islands of Adventure. So that's not going to happen now. So it looks more like it's going to end up at Disney instead. So Disney will have Marvel, which they can't use on this side of the country, Star Wars, which they're starting immediately to try to put something to the purchase, and the Lord of the Rings. So Star Wars and Lord of the Rings will be owned by Disney. Wrap your head around that. It's pretty crazy. So, excuse me. Molly will be returning to the channel very soon. I've actually been chatting with her a lot lately, and we're going to be getting some Molly content in the near future. Ben and Will have videos soon. As a matter of fact, I did have a video that I posted just yesterday of us at the Cheesecake Factory when we went to SmackDown. So if you didn't check out that video, check it out. If you didn't check out our live event perspective of SmackDown, which we shot in pitch black darkness, in the vehicle of Ben on the way back from SmackDown, you can check that out as well. I don't know how the playlist thing's going to work because apparently you can only put 200 videos in a playlist. So what I might do eventually is overhaul the playlist completely. But don't worry, people that follow me on Twitter, because I made it so you won't get an update every single time and your Twitter feed doesn't get blown up by me like it did last time. And people stop following me because of that fact. So yeah, there's always that. So I am really excited. 50 days as of this moment until I go back home again. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, and you were just here on October 1st was your last day. I'm aware. I understand. Trust me, my credit card is feeling the brunt of it, but trust me, it's all worth it in the end. It all will be worth it in the end, and I'll just pay off credit cards. No big deal, no problems. Hours will come back, because we're getting into award season, and that means movies, and it also means big blockbuster movies that have nothing to do with the award seasons, that may be Born Awards and Tech Awards, which are the same thing. If you haven't been following this channel long enough, you would know that the Born Awards equals out to the Tech Awards. So, those big blockbuster movies like Thor and stuff like The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, that stuff's going to get us hours upon hours. So that's going to be awesome, and money will return to Suro and Disney's pocket very soon, which means credit cards get paid off. I'm a happy guy, so there you go. So now we have Wax Poetic for almost 8 minutes. We're going to get into this episode of Monday Night Raw, and it was brought to you in St. Louis, Missouri. Home of a lot of things. Home of Randy Orton. And home of the Cardinals. Yeah. I'm going to go any further into the St. Louis connection, but for those of you that know me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, show starts off immediately, right off the get-go. Here comes Shawn Michaels out to the ring, and he's going to give us a little commentary before we start the show. He's going to open off the show with a nice promo. Okay, first off, I get this. I get that you enjoy your time off. It makes total sense to me. I get that you're not completely interested in coming back to the ring, at least one more match. But seriously, Shawn, shave the facial hair, get rid of the stupid camo. I mean, come on, we want to see the Heartbreak Kid. I believe it was either Michael Cole or JBL put it. I want to see Heartbreak Kid, not Duck Dynasty. I don't see Duck Dynasty, period, unless we're talking about Bill and Ted, and that's another story altogether. Oh, Halloween Horror Nights video coming up very soon. I do have some more stuff. I actually got Rocky Horror to post from Halloween Horror Nights, and on November 2nd, I will be posting something from Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm going to wait until the event is over for me to post, but something I'm sure you guys have been waiting for. So Shawn comes out, and he basically says the Hell in a Cell is about crowning a new WWE champion. And it's not going to go down like the last 2 pay-per-views. It's not going to go down like that. Oh no, Shawn Michaels is going to make sure there is going to be one definitive man walking out with the WWE Championship. He guarantees a new champion. Hometown boy comes out. Here comes Randy Orton. He says, you got everyone convinced, Shawn. But you know what? I was born and raised here in St. Louis. I know these people. And you know what? The people of St. Louis, they're not all that bright. Yeah, they're really not all that bright. Randy Orton's words, not mine. So, it's not that you don't like me. Oh no, it's completely different. You just simply resent me. Because no matter how great you used to be, you will never hold a candle to me in the ring. I will always be better than you. And HBK stops him dead in his tracks and says, oh, my bad, were you talking? He's like, you know what, you don't need to worry about me, you need to worry about Daniel Bryan. And Orton goes off on this. He says, basically, I don't need to worry about anything, Daniel Bryan needs to worry about me, and you need to watch while your protege gets destroyed by me in the center of the ring. And I know that you know all about screw jobs, you're kind of a master of them, but a word of warning, if you screw me over, there will be no coming back from what I do to you. So, basically, Shawn just retorts, like, you know what? If you think about putting your hands on me, I'm gonna kick that pretty little head right off your shoulders. Orton goes for the RKO, HBK pushes him off, HBK goes for sweet chin music, Orton powders to the floor, and that's the end of the segment. But it's not, because The Miz jumps Orton from behind and starts stomping the daylights out of him, thus setting up our opening match on Raw, The Miz and Randy Orton. And I apologize right now. Usually we go midway through the match and we go into the finish. I went straight to the finish on this match because I didn't realize it would be so short. I thought we'd at least go a commercial break, and normally in those situations I go, when a match I think is going to go a long time, I wait till the first commercial break, and then I start calling the match. But I wasn't able to in this case, so we're just going to go to Miz's comeback to the end. So, Miz hits the Miz line in the corner, and he goes up top, crowns Orton, and he goes for the skull-crushing finale. Orton flips him off, charges in, catches the boot, and he pushes it to the side, kicks Orton in the hamstring, goes for the figure four leg, wow, long day, goes for the figure four leg lock, and static, and you know what that means, time for the Wyatt family. So, basically, Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper are sitting on top of the ramp. Rowan and Harper are standing behind Bray, who is in his rocking chair, obviously playing off the fact that he was injured at a house show over the weekend. So, hopefully, he will be returning to action soon. Excuse me. It's just a minor injury. He'll be back sooner rather than later. And, good chance he'll get a nice little push when he returns. So, basically, this distraction allows Randy Orton to grab The Miz from behind, nail him with the RKO, hook both legs, 1, 2, 3. So, I love Bray Wyatt's promos, and through the amazing power of DVR, I am able to cut these promos precisely like on live television. So, I'm going to go into what Bray Wyatt said to The Miz. You are the epitome of everything I loathe about this world, Miz. The limelight, the diamonds, the red carpet. And how much is it gonna take for you to satisfy that little craving, this obsession you have with fame? Here we are, Miz, together in this moment, in a little spider web. I just want you to not be afraid, my child. I don't wish to see you suffer. I'm just going to put you down. Follow the buzzards. Again, awesome promo from Bray Wyatt, as usual. So, we have pretty much answered our question that the Wyatt family has targeted The Miz. It's interesting. So, I think in the near future we're going to get Miz and Bray Wyatt feuding. And I don't have a problem with that. I think it's actually a good idea. And you could do something with both of them until the championships that they could be going for right now are out of limbo, which is pretty much what they're in right now. In a transitional period for Bray Wyatt right now, they're not really doing anything with him at this point. The Miz they've completely soured on, and it looks like they're eagerly wanting to make him a heel again, because his babyface run is pretty much just useless. But in order to do that, you have to wait until this feud with Bray Wyatt's over. I don't see a double turn with Miz and Bray Wyatt. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that Miz is getting jumped I could say that we could get Miz and Bray Wyatt at Hell in a Cell as long as Bray is able to work. If he's not able to work, I think we're going to get Miz against Luke Harper or Eric Rowan in a singles match with Bray and the other member of the Wyatt family at ringside. That's pretty much what I predict is going to happen. So if Bray cannot wrestle, if he's not cleared to wrestle the Miz at Hell in a Cell, I think it's going to be Bray Wyatt in the corner of Luke Harper against the Miz at Hell in a Cell. And after the match is over, you have the Miz, or maybe the Miz win and somehow like stack up Harper and beat him with like a roll up, and you don't have him figure four, you don't do the skull crushing finale, you just have him roll him up, get a surprise win, and then Rowan attacks from behind, and you could even feed him to Bray, and if Bray's able to do it, Sister Abigail will leave the Miz laying, and we continue the feud. So I think that's what we end up doing. So that's what I would do. In this situation, I would say Bray Wyatt, if he's able to work, against The Miz at Hell in a Cell. If not, I say it's going to be The Miz against a member of the Wyatt family, and I predict it would be Luke Harper, because he's actually can carry a better match. No offense to Eric Rowan, I think Harper's better in the ring. Well, we continue. We get Fandango with the absolutely gorgeous Summer Rae taking on Santino Marella, and this match is pretty good for what it was. Just a small little TV match, not bad. So whip in, Fandango gets the back elbow off of it, makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out. So he goes for a chin lock. Santino punches his way out, whip in, reverse, tip up, nobody home. Fandango clubs him in the back of the neck. A release snap suplex, and he goes up top, presumably for the perfect 10. Santino kips up, and Fandango leaps anyway, lands on his feet, leaping over the top of Santino. And there's a boot in and an ace crusher, modified ace crusher from Santino. So, of course, we see this split with the duck the clothesline and the Beal, and then the falling headbutt, and then, of course, he takes out the Cobra. He's about to strike. He puts it on his hand, he moves his hand ready, and he goes for the Cobra, and Summer Rae jumps on the apron and distracts Santino momentarily for Fandango to roll him up from behind, hook the tights, and get the 3 count. So, much needed victory for Fandango. And I'm still stating right now, he will be a singles champion of some sort before 2013 is over. I almost guarantee it's going to happen. Not as over tonight, though. A lot more of a heel tonight than a babyface. I guess it kind of depends on what crowd you get. You get the crowd that wants to cheer Fandango, he's going to become off more like a babyface. You get the crowd that wants to boo Fandango, he's going to come off more like a heel. He pretty much adapts with the crowd that he's working in front of. Makes total sense. That's a professional right there. So, we've got that situation. Santino is pretty much just bouncing around from match to match, doesn't really have a feud to worry about. Fandango doesn't really have a feud to worry about. These are two superstars that kind of need feuds right now. So, like I said, I would sick Fandango towards the U.S. Championship if you take the championship off of Dean Ambrose. And at this point, it might not be a bad idea to do that, but we'll talk about that as we proceed. So we get Paul Heyman when we get back to commercial break, and he wants CM Punk to be revered for being the cheater that he is. I know, pot kettle. So he wants to pick the stipulation at Hell in a Cell, and he wants the stipulation to be CM Punk versus Curtis Axel and Ryback in a handicap match. So Brad Maddox, in his infinite wisdom, says, how about we do a beat the clock? We do Ryback against Truth, and we do CM Punk against Curtis Axel. And whomever wins the Beat the Clock challenge will get to pick the stipulation for the Hell in a Cell match. Makes total sense. So Paul likes this idea, and Paul's like, completely forgets the fact that if Punk wins, he gets to pick the stipulation. But Punk's not going to win. Not at all. At least that's what Paul Heyman thinks. So we get our next match, Los Matadores against three-man band. This time, Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater, even though the Chiron said it was Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal, but Jinder wasn't ringside for this match. I guess I decided to change it up at the last minute. Okay, here's the thing. It's going to take quite a while to sell me on Los Matadores. No, don't get me wrong. I like Primo and Epico. I do. I think they're a good tag team. I like their tag team continuity as Los Matadores. Here's my problem. They can't keep working three-man band every single week. I mean, look at SmackDown last week. When we were in Columbus, they put Ricardo and Tyson Kidd in hoods and put them against Los Matadores. So, yeah. WWE is severely suffering in the heel tag team department. Who do we got? You got the Usos. Face. Primetime Players. Face. Cody Rhodes and Goldust. Face. You've got... Who's left? Los Matadores? They're face. The Real Americans. They're slowly but surely turning them face. At least Cesaro's going to be turning face. Swagger obviously will stay a heel, but that's how it works. So you've got three-man band, who you can just throw together any of the three of them. There's one. You got the Shield, there's two. You got the Real Americans, there's three. There's no other heel tag teams in the WWE. It's ridiculous. They need to do something with this division. I would, at this point, if it was up to me, I'd turn the Usos heel. Again, the problem with turning the Usos heel is with their connection to Total Divas. I think they want to keep them babyface. Kind of like, out of nowhere, we got Brie turning babyface. So, the Bellas went babyface when they revealed the fact that Nikki and Brie were dating Cena and Bryan. So, they went in that direction, and then, of course, turned the Bellas babyface. So, that's pretty much what they've done with that. So, I mean, you can't turn the Primetime Players babyface, heel, again, it doesn't work, apparently. Turn the Usos heel, I think that'd be a good idea. I think they would be a good, Samoan Savage tag team. Not babyface team, a Savage tag team. This generation's version of the Wild Samoans, if they played it off the right way. See, this is what you do. I would have... Actually, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Why not turn the Usos heel? You put Paul Heyman with them, so he can go back to his Paulie Dangerously Roots, and you have Heyman manage the Usos as a heel tag team. I think that's a great idea. Because you've got Axel, you got Ryback, you got Brock Lesnar on the outside, we don't know his affiliation until he returns, and that won't be until 2014. So, several months away from Brock coming back. And even though a lot of people are saying he's going to turn babyface, and I really think that's a bad idea. But then you'd have the Usos with them. So you'd have the Samoans, then you'd have Ryback, and you have Axel, and you have Heyman as the mouthpiece. And that sets up, what? Survivor Series! That makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to me, and they would do it that way. So I think that's a great direction to go. If they really want to go that way, that's what I would do. Because if you had the WWE app, you would know that the Usos are getting fed up with the fact that Cody and Dustin got the tag team title shot tonight on Raw instead of them, even though they are the rightful #1 contenders. So they get frustrated. Frustration leads to doing things they may regret later on, and they sign a deal with the devil. Bingo, Paul Heyman, guys. I think it's a great idea. Make it happen. But, oh yeah, there's a match I had to talk about here. Sorry, I said a wax poetic about the fact that there's no heel tag teams in the WWE. Three freaking heel tag teams in the WWE. The rest are babyface. It's ridiculous. Okay. So, there's a double slingshot suplex on, I guess it would be Fernando. Drew McIntyre ends up hitting a big boot, leaping stomp, and he locks on a modified crossface chicken wing. And Fernando punches his way out and nails a really sloppy satellite DDT. Tagging to Heath Slater, hot tagging to Diego, he hits a flying headbutt off the ropes, ducks the clothesline, chop on Heath Slater, who gets tagged in, of course, whip in reverse, and the leg sweep, the leg sweep part of Total Elimination from the Eliminators back in the day. Goes to the middle rope and double chop, and they nail him with the the double rack, a Samoan drop, and get the 3 right there. Of course, Jinder gets in the ring, and he chases El Torito around a bit. He gets caught with a double chop, and they pick him up in said rack, and Torito comes off with a cannonball off the top rope. Springboard into a top rope cannonball, and, Mysterio's dropping the dime, and that's all she wrote. So, yeah. I don't like this tag team. I don't like the setup yet. So, I guess we'll get to it later. So we get our prerequisite showing of what's best for business. Triple H and Stephanie come out. Stephanie used the line, "With my power and support, Triple H is the WWE." Those are mighty big words to say. Triple H, of course, goes into his little spiel. He says, "Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated." When have I heard that before? "My breaking point was last week. I've reached it. When the whole world was chanting yes while I was unconscious in the center of the ring, courtesy of the Big Show knocking me out. You want me to be the bad guy? You want me to be the villain? Fine, I'll be the bad guy. The Big Show will grovel at my feet. Anyone who defies the authority will beg for their jobs. People who even thought yes should be praying right now." So Daniel Bryan comes out, starts chanting yes. And Alberto Del Rio comes from behind and nails him from the back, knocks him down with a GSK, and Triple H and Stephanie pretty much introduce Bryan to his opponent for later tonight. So we get Daniel Bryan and Alberto Del Rio in a non-title match later on in the night. So it's going to be another punishment match. And Triple H mocks the yes, and the fans are chanting no. Okay. So I'll say right now, the slow burn being what it is, I think what's best for business has kind of, I can't necessarily say run its course, but it's really close right now. I would say the smart move right now is put the title on Bryan at Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels clean in the center of the ring to Randy Orton. And then we have Vince get rid of Triple H and Stephanie to take them off television for a while. That's what I think should happen. But, of course, we already had the Big Show knock him out, so unless we're doing Triple H and the Big Show, which I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to get eventually, I would take them off television, because a little birdie said that they're supposed to be off television after Hell in a Cell. But we'll see what happens. You know, the old adage, card subject to change. So we get our first Beat the Clock Challenge match. Ryback taking on R-Truth. The newly 100% cemented babyface R-Truth. So, Truth basically runs the clock down, chasing Ryback around the ring, forcing him to chase after him. He hits a high heel kick. He slides out of the ring. So he gives chase. Paul Heyman stops Truth. Ryback nails him from behind. Tosses him back in. Makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out. Hooks the leg. 1 count only. So he whips him in high velocity style to the buckle. Makes a cover 1 count only. 2 shoulders in the midsection. Scoop slam. And big time Ultimate Warrior style splash. 1-2 and a kick out. So he basically kicks him right in the spine. Looks like a glancing kick, but still, those could hurt the worst. Comes off the ropes, gets elbowed, 1 count only. So goes for another pin, 1 count only. Lifts him up and runs him hard into the corner, and then he runs to the opposite corner, then he runs him in the opposite corner again, and 1-2, Truth grabs the bottom rope, stops the pinfall. He goes for a pin again, hooks the leg, only gets a 1 count. Roll up, 1 count only. So, scoop slam, and Truth lands on his feet behind, boot in the midsection, whip into the buckle, 1 count only. So, goes for the over-the-shoulder power slam. Truth lands on his feet, front drop kick, and then the drop kick to the knee. He comes off the ropes, nails another front drop kick, 1-2, and a kick out. He goes to the middle rope, leaps up to the top rope, nails a missile drop kick, 1-2, and 2.5. So, Ryback barely kicks out. He goes for the axe kick. Ryback ducks out of the way, picks him up, shell shock, 1-2-3. So Ryback wins the first Beat the Clock Challenge match at 5 minutes and 44 seconds, which of course would have been a lot less if he didn't spend the beginning of the match, the first 3 minutes of the match, chasing Truth around the ring. So We get tons of funk. And immediately, the first thing that pops in my head before I see their opponents, I'm thinking, well, Tensai's eating the giant swing tonight. And sure enough, when we come back commercial break, their opponents are announced as who? That's right, Zeb's Militia, the Real Americans, Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger. Again, this match was pretty much only done so we can get a giant swing. Crowd really behind the Real Americans this match, given the fact it is Columbus Day after all. So, Cesaro locks on the Edelweiss on Tensai. And then the Swiss uppercut out of it, and tagging a Swagger, and 6 big shoulder blocks in the midsection, nails the Swagger bomb, tag in, leapfrogs over Swagger, and nails the double boot stomp. 1-2 and a kick out. Edelweiss again, tagging a Swagger, and Swagger comes in with a version of the step over toe hold. He kicks him off, double clothesline, both men are down at the same time. Cesaro tagged in, deadlift into a side salto on Tensai. Looked phenomenal. 1-2 and a kick out. Tagging a Swagger. Tensai fights his way out of the corner and neck snaps Cesaro, and he charges in, goes face first into the turnbuckle. Tagging at Brodus Clay, so hot tagging at Brodus. He comes in, clothesline on Cesaro, and he knocks Swagger off the ring apron. And he nails the Sheplex on Cesaro. And then charging Avalanche in the corner, nails the Perfect Plex, and Swagger makes a save right before the 3 count is administered. He charges him with a headbutt, and he tosses him over the top rope. Cesaro nails him with a diving Swiss uppercut, picks him up, Gotch-style neutralizer, and plants Brodus for the 3 count. Real Americans win this match. But no, the match isn't over. Cesaro goes for the giant swing on Brodus. Tensai hits the ring, and Swagger jumps him. This allows pretty much Brodus Clay to be left alone, pretty much. So, Cesaro calls for the crowd, as a heel, mind you. Still a heel for the present time. And, sure enough, he nails the giant swing on Tensai, just like I predicted would happen after the match is over. We, the people. Okay. So, I talked about the fact that there's no tag teams in the WWE, they're heels. I said there's 3 tag teams. You've got the Shield, who are firm heels. 100%. 3-man band are heels. And then you have this tag team, which are the Real Americans. They're getting a babyface reaction. Even Swagger's getting a face reaction right now. He's got to do something to curb that, or they're going to turn babyface completely. So, I would say in the near future, you have Swagger turn on Cesaro. You do a mini feud there, and that would lead to Cesaro eventually challenging for a major singles championship. I'm not talking about the Intercontinental title or the United States title. Oh no. I think Antonio Cesaro will be a world champion within the next 2 years. I was thinking 3, but I was like, no, I have faith in Cesaro. No matter what everybody says, Antonio Cesaro will be a world champion within the next 2 years. So yeah, that's what I'm predicting. So yeah, this match was only done so you get a giant swing, and that's what the crowd marked out for, and that's all that mattered. So, Stephanie, using the old adage, women, wow, long day, basically just completely angry, so she's going to take it out on Brie. Obviously, makes sense because she has the relationship with Daniel Bryan. They're engaged, obviously. So, she's going to make the match with Brie against Tamina Snuka. And AJ is allowed to be at ringside, but Nikki is not. So, this match actually went a lot longer than I thought it would. It was pretty good, actually. Brie nails a Luthez press off the apron to Tamina on the floor, goes to toss her back in. Tamina stops her and clubs her in the back of the neck, tosses her back in, kicks her in the ribs, and Brie slides to the legs and locks on the old Lance Storm Canadian Maple Leaf, you know, the half Boston Crab through her legs, and she releases the hold, she gets choked on the middle rope by Tamina, makes a cover, 1-2 and a kick out, chin lock, Brie elbows her way out, and a snap suplex on Brie, 1-2 and a kick out. So short arm clothesline, 1 count only. Rear chinlock is applied. Brie fights her way out with elbows. Side headlock by Tamina. And there's a knee in the midsection. Whip in, charges, caught the boot up, and middle rope missile drop kick, front drop kick style from Brie Bella. And she nails a drop kick, and her running knee strike on 2 separate occasions goes for the middle rope, going for the Bella Factor, and it's blocked. Gets nailed with a big boot, 1, 2, 3, and Tamina wins. After the match is over, Tamina nails her with a Samoan drop and picks her up in an over-the-shoulder power slam and drops her into a shoulder breaker, which we haven't seen in a long time. Goes up top, nails a Superfly splash, and AJ gets in the ring seductively as usual, and she gets picked up and put in the Black Widow, and she just yells, "Tap, Brie, tap," and laughs maniacally. So again, another punishment from What's Best for Business, obviously, and this match was nothing but a punishment, basically. So, like I said, Brie is impressing me every week. Oh no, by the way, when I stopped and I said women earlier, obviously I want to use the old adage, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega. So that's how, in AJ's case, that works pretty well. So in this case, we're leading towards Brie and AJ at Hell in a Cell, and I think Brie is actually going to win the championship, finally. AJ's had the title for a long time, and I think it's time for her to drop. The problem is, you don't have enough viable heel challengers built up yet. It's the total opposite of the tag team division. In the tag team division, you have no heels. In the Divas division, you have too many baby faces. So yeah, actually you have no heels in both. It makes sense. It's not the opposite. It's completely the same. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Give me a break. It's after midnight. So, that's what we got. And like I said, Brie is getting better every single week. Every single time I see her in the ring, I don't dread her matches anymore. They're actually getting better. Obviously, working with Daniel Bryan has its advantages. And the advantage here is the fact she's getting much better in the ring. She's a lot more fluid in her movements. Her spots look a lot more crisp, and they're more believable in the ring. I like that running knee strike, too. It's nice. Even though I'm pretty sure that's pretty much what gave, probably aggravated AJ's concussion at Battleground, if I had to guess. So, yeah. I predict a new Divas champion at Hell in a Cell. But we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks to see if I change my mind about that. So we do another Beat the Clock Challenge match. CM Punk taking on the Intercontinental Champion that will not defend his title, apparently, Curtis Axel. So, whip in, charges in, boot up, and Punk nails a 180 flying body press, 1 count only. So, Punk gets nailed with a clothesline, makes a cover, 1 count only. Nails the elbow face wash, makes a 1 count only. And it's something, elbow face wash, it basically takes the point of the elbow and like rakes it across the bridge of the nose. Dean Ambrose does it in the corner, actually. And, Axel does it like when a downed opponent, so. Nails the side backbreaker, goes for the Bret Hart elbow, he misses, and 3 knee strikes, whip in, and charging knee in the corner, and of course the short arm clothesline out of the corner, 1, 2, and a kick out. She goes up top, goes for the Savage elbow, he connects, and of course he goes ready to put Axel to sleep, goes for the go to sleep. Axel counters it, boot in the midsection, axe to grind, 1, 2, and a kick out. So whip in, slides through the legs, does Curtis Axel, duck the clothesline, does Punk, and he gets nailed with a club to the back of the neck. You know, we've seen it so many times. 1, 2, and a kick out. Perfect plex, and Punk kicks out 2.5. He goes for another perfect plex, countered into a small package, 1, 2, and no, Axel kicks out. So he goes for the spinning neck breaker, gets turned around in a high angle kick to the side of the head, nails the go to sleep, 1, 2, 3 with 11 seconds remaining. So CM Punk beats the clock, gets on the mic, and says, basically, you know, you taught me well, and in that case, yeah, we're going to have this handicap match at Hell in a Cell. So you get what you want. It's going to be CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman. And you know what? It's going to be inside the Hell in a Cell. So here's the thing. Number one, for those of you that are wondering why Punk went over at Battleground, you're not going to like this match. because I think this match will 100% solidify the end of the CM Punk Paul Heyman program. I think we both go their separate ways after this match is over. I think Ryback ends up getting tied up in the ropes, Andre the Giant style, and I think he has to watch while Punk decimates Paul Heyman, nails him to go to sleep, puts him in the Anaconda Vice, and he tap like Sammy Davis Jr. while Ryback is watching, tied him up in the ropes, unable to do anything to stop him. So that's what I think is going to happen in this match. And hopefully we'll get Curtis Axel defending the Intercontinental Championship and losing the Intercontinental Championship to somebody. I thought it was going to be Truth. Apparently it's not going to be now. So maybe, who are we looking at? Who's getting pushed right now? Nobody. So who knows? Maybe they'll build someone in the next 2 weeks that could challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. I say somebody of some sort beats Axel on Raw next Monday night, and this builds this person for a title shot at Hell in a Cell. Because, 2 weeks doesn't matter, because we can do that. So, we get our semi-main and our main event up next. By virtue of the attack earlier on, we get another match, non-title, Alberto Del Rio, your World Heavyweight Champion, taking on Daniel Bryan. This match was awesome, too. But let's talk about it midway through the match like we always do. Here on Pop. Yes kicks in the corner. And then he gets the yes kicks, the grounded yes kicks, while he is in a seated position, or a kneeled position in this case. He goes for the buzzsaw. Del Rio ducks out of the way, plants him in the backstabber, 1-2, and Bryan kicks out. The leaping stomp and high velocity whip into the corner, and he chokes him with his patella right across the throat. So Bryan gets the upper hand, nails the charging drop kick, but he finds nothing but the turnbuckles. He moves out of the way. Del Rio with, again, multiple stomps. And we come back to live action. Bryan goes for the swan dive headbutt. Del Rio out of the way, 1-2, and a kick out. Goes for the yes lock, and it gets broken up with Del Rio getting to the ropes. So, Aberdeen uppercut on 2 separate occasions. Whip in, reverse, charges in, gets the boot up. And Bryan charges out of the corner like a house of fire. Gets caught with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Double boot stomp to the lower back, makes a cover, 1-2, Bryan kicks out. So chin lock with a knee firmly planted in the lower back. And Bryan elbows his way out, 5 headbutts, charges in, and clothesline out of the corner. Bryan explodes out like a house of fire. In this case, it does work. So he drives the knees into the arm when he's going for the S-lock, makes a cover, 1-2, and a kick out, trying to soften up the arm for the cross arm breaker, obviously. Middle rope missile drop kick, 1-2, and a kick out. So the chin lock is applied on Bryan. Bryan again elbows his way out. Charges in, goes shoulder first into the ring post, and charges up, does for the step up enziguri. Bryan ducks out of the way, and the yes kicks. Whip in, reverse, backflip, lands on his feet, and ducks Del Rio's clothesline, comes off the ropes, hooking clothesline. Then the charging drop kick in the corner, and he puts him on the top turnbuckle, top rope, Hurricane Rana, 1-2, and 2.5. So right there, Del Rio kicks out. Whip in, and he catches him with a side kick to the midsection. Bryan low bridges him, goes over the top rope to the floor. So this allows Bryan to charge in, nail the tope, sending Del Rio hard into the barricade. So he tosses him back in. He goes up top, missile drop kick, 1-2. Del Rio kicks out at 2.5. Randy Orton comes on the Titantron and says, "Don't worry, I'm going to see if Brie is okay." So we see him go into the trainer's room. He shuts the door maniacally. You hear Brie scream, and this allows Del Rio to attack from behind. Rolls up Bryan with the tights, 1-2, and a kick out. Goes for the cross arm breaker, gets shoved off, ducks the clothesline, high kick, and he speeds off to the back, getting counted out in the process. He basically shows up to find nothing. And, of course, he gets attacked from behind by Orton, and he tosses him into the, the tub that was in Major League where athletes, it's like a portable hot tub that looks like a basin? Yeah, he really caught the side of his head into that. And, basically, he just leaves him laying. Orton walks out of the room, and Brie checks over on him. So, good segment right there. Great match between Bryan and Del Rio. Great chemistry between those two. Like to see more matches between them in the near future. So, yeah. Once again, Bryan left laying. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Our main event of the evening. WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, the Shield, defending against Cody Rhodes and Goldust. So, Cody Rhodes and Goldust beat the Shield at Battleground in a non-title match. They get past the Wyatt family on SmackDown, the one we were at, and now they get this match for the Tag Team Championships. Now, Triple H, in his infinite wisdom, says this is going to be a no disqualification match. Gloves are off, boys. Finish this. So, here's what we've got here. This is the main event, and what a main event this match was. Like I said, Raw was kind of lackluster tonight, but this match exponentially made up for all of it. And it was totally worth the wait. So Goldust hits the clothesline in the corner. And then the Dustin Rhodes style Bulldog, 1-2, and a kick out. So Rollins kicks out at 2. So back kick to the midsection, whip in, ducks the clothesline, ducks Rhodes' back elbow, Rhodes comes off with a crossbody, Rollins ducks out of the way. And when we come back from commercial break, Rollins steps on his forehead, makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out because Cody makes a save. So he locks on a step over armbar and he presses against the side of the neck. So Dustin punches his way out and nails a backslide, 1-2 and a kick out. So clothesline on Goldust, makes a cover, 1-2 and a kick out. Tagging to Roman Reigns, Roman comes in and nails a leaping elbow, 1-2 and a kick out. Reigns with a chin lock. So Goldust punches it out, whip in, stop, drop in, back elbow, tagging to Rollins. So Rollins is now legal. Knocked Cody off the ring apron to prevent a Rhodes tag, which is obviously needed at this point. He goes off the middle rope, dives in. Rhodes catches him with a power slam. And Ambrose gets on the apron. He gets kicked off. Tagging to Cody. So Cody with a hot tag. So leaps up, nails a hip check. And whip in with the drop uppercut. Nails him. Tosses him into the ring post. Hard. Rolls him up. 1-2 and no. Kick out. So he goes up top for the standing moonsault. Nails a beautiful one. 1-2 and a kick out. Goes for the beautiful disaster. Nails Dean Ambrose. Knocks him off the ring apron. So he charges in. Does Roman Reigns. Cody gets the boot up and springboard into a drop kick, 1-2 and a kick out. Rollins makes the save. Goldust gets in the ring to even the odds up. Fights Rollins on the floor. So they're brawling on the floor. So Crossroads is nailed and it gets caught by Dean Ambrose. Ambrose tosses Goldust out of the ring. So Rollins and Reigns stomp Cody and Goldust picks up a steel chair since they're getting ready to go for the triple powerbomb and he chair shots Roman Reigns in the back. He nails Ambrose in the ribs and then one of the lower back as well, and then nails Rollins in the back. So chair has been wearing out on the Shield at this point. So Reigns picks up the chair and Dustin ducks the shot and he crossbodies the chair into the face of Roman Reigns. Crowds on their feet at this point. They know, they sense something crazy is about to happen. So Cody and Seth Rollins are on the floor and they're brawling, and then Cody sends Seth into the ring steps face first. Beautiful disaster, gets caught, and the power bomb into the barricade. So in the ring, Reigns whip in, ducks the clothesline, inverted atomic drop by Goldust, and a kick to the side of the head. Rollins dives into the atomic drop, clothesline over the top rope, cactus clothesline sends Roman Reigns over the top to the floor. Ambrose nails him from behind. Goldust tosses Roman into the barricade. And then this allows for Reigns to get his bearings, and he spears Goldust through the barricade, and Justin Roberts' little happy place. Ambrose tosses Cody back in, picks up Roman, of course, is still groggy, obviously, from spearing Goldust through the barricade. Toss him back in. Here comes the Big Show through the crowd, steps in. Ambrose gets in his way. He gets the WMD. Rollins jumps off the apron. He gets the WMD. So Roman Reigns has a stare down with Big Show, and he basically dares him. He goes for beautiful disaster. Roman ducks it, and WMD on Roman Reigns, lays him out. Cody makes the cover. 1, 2, 3. We've got new WWE Tag Team Champions, and Big Show leaves through the crowd celebrating the loss of the Shield as Cody and Goldust raise the WWE Tag Team Championships high in the air as we fade to black. So, what an incredible way to finish Raw. amazing chemistry between the Shield and Goldust and Cody Rhodes. Another incredible match. Another 20-minute plus match. Excellent way to end the show. And a smart way to end the show, given the fact that the Shield have run roughshod for so long, and it actually was mentioned that they were very long-reigning WWE Tag Team Champions before this match. So, I mean, it's kind of like apropos they would lose the championships tonight. That was pretty much my first thought that was going to happen. So, you got a brand new Tag Team Champion crowned tonight. The right team went over, and of course we get a rematch, I would say, at Hell in a Cell, some sort of stipulation on the line. And you could have the Shield retain, regain the titles that way. No, I think there's money with putting Cody and Goldust to retain the championships for a bit. Obviously, you get the Shield to win the titles back, but I mean, the idea I brought with the Usos going heel and then Heyman joining up with them, there's a way to work that in too, so. And it plays into the fact that the Usos are fed up with being #1 contenders and getting passed over by Cody and Goldust. Bing! That turns the Usos heel, so I think the Usos are going to attack the new Tag Team Champions either on SmackDown Friday or on Raw next week to set up that match at Hell in a Cell. Which will probably be some sort of maybe a three-way dance with the Shield, if I had to guess. So there's always that. Okay, Raw for what it was. Kind of lackluster. The main event more than made up for it. Gonna be interesting to see where we go from here. In the meantime, I hope you guys out there enjoyed the video. Like I said, I was just kind of trying to give you the best content I can. Battery should be dying soon, actually, because I pretty much wasted it on this almost hour-long video. So hope you like this video. In the meantime, I will be joining you wrestling fans again on Friday for Impact. And Saturday we're going to talk NXT and SmackDown like we always do. We have, like I said, this week we've got a lot of awesome content coming. Some Will and Ben content from Columbus still to come this week. And I do have some awesomeness coming from AJ later this weekend. This Saturday, AJ's movie reviews. We're going to talk about 6 movies. We have Escape Plan, and Carrie, and The Fifth Estate, and In a World, and Thanks for Sharing, and Escape from Tomorrow. All 6 of those will be chronicled. Plus, you have a brand new Versus coming on Sunday. Cryptic Comet is Daylight. So stay tuned for that, and a lot of awesome content here on Pop. So stick around for that. In the meantime, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them. Leave a comment. Do subscribe. Spread the word about Pop and the Popcaster Revolution. If you want to tweet me, sure. I will accept tweets at Sir Owen Disney. Very simple, very easy to find. And if you want to find me on Facebook, friend me, be my guest. It's Owen Disney, very simple to find. And if you want to email me your ideas, thoughts, comments, and opinions, you're more than welcome to do it that way. And send me an email, sirowendisney@gmail.com. So there's always that. In the meantime, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.